I have been a total failure when it comes to losing weight. There's no other way to describe it than that word failure. In December of 2023, I joined the gym for the first time in years. For the first time in years, I stopped isolating inside, which was due to a bipolar manic episode and depressive episode that I had subsequently. I started going outside again and I got back in the gym again, and I decided that I want to get some of the weight that I had put on as a result of bipolar medications off my shoulders. Because, boy, is it a heavy burden to carry around 354 pounds. Now, I am not 354 pounds. And it's because of that initial step I took of getting in the gym in December 2023. Very quickly, I lost a significant amount of that weight. Between December 2023 and May of 2024, I went from 354 pounds to the range of about 310 to 320. So I was making progress. But since that day in May of 2024, in the year that has transpired since then, I have not lost a single solitary pound of weight. I still am in that range of 310 to 320 pounds. After all these months of trying to lose weight. But let's dive right into this. Let's be hard on myself for a minute because, frankly, that's what it's going to take in order for me to recognize what's truly going on. And the first step in solving a problem is acknowledging that one exists. Well, we got a damn problem on our hands, people. I weigh 320 pounds. That's unacceptable. I know that it's unhealthy. I know this needs to change. I just don't know if I'm even up to it. And it's getting to the point where I'm starting to feel like I don't care. And that's a tough reality to come to terms with. It's something I don't want to say, but I have to say it because it's getting to that point, and it will be reality if I don't have a change of heart and change of attitude very soon. So the first step, we acknowledge the problem. I need to get some of this weight off. A couple ways I could do this. One would be the appropriate way. The appropriate way would be to start getting back in the gym again on a consistent basis. It would be to start eating normally. Not even dieting necessarily, just normally. Not overeating. Not eating so much that you know you're going to be putting on weight, that you know that you're consuming more calories than you've burned on any particular day. That's what counts. It's not about the number of hours you put in. It's about how much you put into those hours. That's a saying I've always loved, and I think it's so relevant to this situation because I have put in a lot of hours since December 2023, but I haven't put a lot of effort into those hours. They've been very sporadic. They have not been on a consistent basis, at least not a consistent enough basis to consistently lose weight, because I'm still 320 pounds. I'm making this video today because I am going for a physical examination tomorrow at an urgent care clinic. I'll be paying out of pocket, which really sucks, but you do what you gotta do. I need this physical exam in order to return to university this fall. It's one of the required pieces of documentation that I have to submit, in addition to like vaccine records, that sort of thing. So, I'm making this video because I want to get ahead of what I know is coming, and that is the fact that I haven't lost any weight. I know the scale tomorrow is going to say 320 or more, maybe give or take a few pounds, perhaps a few pounds less than 320. But I know the general space of where I'll be. I know that I haven't made the progress I need to. I know that something needs to change. I am tired of being morbidly obese. And there's some data I saw recently, and I want you to hear this if you're still watching. It's a piece of data that is so frightening to me. Out of curiosity, one day I went onto Google and I looked up what are the odds of an obese person having a normal body weight again. And then I looked up what are the odds of a morbidly obese person having a normal body weight again. And the results were along the lines of, for just plain obesity, not morbidly obese, but obesity, it's about 1 in 210 for men. About 1 out of 210 men who are obese will be back at a normal, healthy body weight at some point in their lives. That is staggeringly low. That is less than 1%. But I'm not obese. I mean, I am. I'm not just obese. Let me word it that way. I am morbidly obese. And I don't remember the exact number. All I do know is that the odds were greater than 1 in 1,000. It may have been like 1,000, 1 out of 1,200, or maybe even 1 out of 2,000. I just know it was at least 1 in 1,000, or even lower odds. So if I do manage to pull this off, if I do manage to get back into a healthy, normal body weight again, please understand how significant of a feat that is. It is an anomaly. It is something that totally deviates from the norm, or at least what we know to be the norm. And that is that people who become obese tend to stay that way for the rest of their lives. We always hear about the stories of people getting the weight off. We don't necessarily hear the stories of people who keep it their entire lives. I mean, maybe with the exception of some of those shows, My 600-Pound Life and the sorts, but it still doesn't capture the degree to which this is so severe and how prominent it is. Because a lot of people are overweight, a lot of people are obese, statistically, in the United States. And one would think that this would be a more talked about problem, but in my mind, I view it as neglected. And it all starts with the individual, right? I'm an individual making the wrong choices day in and day out. I'm not doing what I need to be consistently doing. And it just has to change because I've had enough. I have had enough.